When was the last time you looked up? The space shuttle, maybe? A raindrop? Well, Robin Young has met some people who believe the sky alone is worth our gaze. Robin?
And our awe, Jane. And it all started with a fellow by the name of Jack Borden, who had a vision and took me to that very spot. It all started about 2 years ago. He was 47 years old then, a reporter in Boston, Massachusetts, a lifelong nature lover on his usual walk with his wife.
I lay down, took a little nap, opened my eyes, and there it was. I saw the sky for the first time.
Shazam.
Shazam. How would you describe the condition of the sky today?
Like a man with a newfound religion, reporter Borden took his cause to the streets, where he won converts to the concept of sky awareness.
Have a look at the sky.
Oh, my.
How's it look?
Oh, that's beautiful. Really is. What is this supposed to be?
And where he realized that there was no spokesperson for the sky, no equivalent Jacques Cousteau Society for Clouds. So he decided to start one. But what about those people who would counter that, here's a fellow with his head in the clouds?
Well, as Ralph Waldo Emerson said, the sky is the daily bread for our eyes.
Okay, some people would call your project Castles in the Air.
Henry David Thoreau said, castles in the air, that's where they belong. Then put foundations under them. Well, it's all true, because here we are.
This is Jack's Dream Realized, a non-profit organization called For Spacious Skies, put together with the help of friends and various companies, and appropriately holding their first conference in the Grand Canyon. For 3 days, they gazed at the sunrise and the stars and exchanged ideas. Scientists, artists, industry representatives with one common goal, to advance sky awareness and concern. And when they left, they had reason for both. But to start, environmental design professor Erwin Zuby determined how people perceive the sky.
People look at the sky when they see contrails from jets flying overhead. They hear the sound, they look up, and they see that white streak across the sky. Just as you look at the wall when you see a painting. And when there's a change, then people attend to it.
Well, we've been looking at it all day because we got rained on last night.
Would you take your son outdoors in Michigan and point the sky out to him there?
Oh, yeah, we look at birds and trees and all that kind of thing, but this has really been something else for him.
But do you look at the sky?
The sky? It's, have you been to Michigan ever? Well, you're asking those girls over there, what would it be without the background? And I was thinking it would be like watching black and white TV.
No matter how bad it is, you always get a good view in the foreground. But when you look out in the distance, you've completely lost the total background experience. And I think that is really important. And I'll bet the people notice that when you show them the...
These men had the most disturbing news about the sky. You often can't see it. Dr. Richard Bryceland of the U.S. Park Service has determined that air pollution is now the #1 threat to our national parks. And Terry Daniels, a psychologist, confirmed that visitors notice it. For instance, the Grand Canyon is shrouded in smog 100 days of the year. Other scenic vistas are becoming lost horizons. And often the parks themselves are protected by law, but air knows no boundaries. Within an hour, this view, overlooking a power plant, was gone. The Park Service hears about it, and often they're asked why they can't do something about it.
Well, the only laws that we have to operate under are the Clean Air Act, the provisions of the Clean Air Act. They give us some authority, but we can only do as much as we are entitled by law to do.
The question is more, are we going to allow Western industrial growth, or industrial growth really all the way across the country, or not?
But the Clean Air Act is currently under revision, and there's talk and debates like this one at the conference of lessening those controls that already exist.
Causing us, not only the utility industry, but all industry, to want to change the Clean Air Act amendments.
What's the meaning of sky?
You mean the word?
No, the idea.
Perhaps it will be our artists, rather than our scientists, who will preserve our sky. Artists like Eric Sloan.
Lincoln said, "I can't imagine a man looking at the sky and denying God."
And musicians like Paul Winter, who find words inadequate when asked to explain the sky. Can you do it?
No, that's what I have this for.
makes you feel small.
It explains a lot to us if we are willing to take the time to observe it and study it. He loves it.
How can you tell?
Isn't he hopping around?
Yeah.
I'd like to let him see this in 25 years, and for him to say, yeah, it was as good as when I saw it, you know.
Castles in the air, that's where they belong. Then put foundations under them.
Well, For Spacious Skies is located at 15 State Street in Boston, Massachusetts, and the sky is right out your window.
15 State Street, that's the address for that castle in the air.
Yeah.
With a mailbox out front.
Right.
Thank you, Robin. It was lovely.
Thank you.
We'll be back after a message.